gentlemen, welcome back to Two Clicks from KO. I, as always, am Aries Edge, and with me, the jelly to my peanut butter,
Ooh,
the West Coast OG, none other than Aaron Cantu. Aaron, how are you?
I like that one. I like that. PB, but I'm great. I'm grape jelly. Okay,
Whichever kind of jelly you
I'm
enjoy.
just telling you that's great. That's great.
Okay, you going with the grape? You
Yeah.
going with this? All right.
Welch's, not Smuckers.
With or without seeds?
Without, of
All
course.
right. It's gotta be all right.
Jam. Like if you're doing strawberry jam, you gotta have like the seeds. It's not real strawberry jam if you don't got the seeds.
I usually do jam over jellies because it spreads easier.
This is true. This is
And
true.
so I usually do the jam over the jellies.
This is true. It's a good point. But this is not a peanut butter and jelly podcast.
This is not your mom's canning podcast. We're gonna talk about how we're gonna can some yams and stuff. No, we're not doing that today.
No, we're not.
We got too much stuff to cover.
Yeah. So last week we recorded an episode and it was dicey because it's my fault. We'll just say that. And so
No. He blamed me.
no. I'm saying okay.
You.
On my end it seemed fine, but on your end it did not.
It was.
So,
I kept telling you it's bad. My end. No. It's gotta be you. And I got a message at 11 o'clock at night. Oh, hey, by the way, I figured out what was going on.
By the way,
So
I effed up.
Yeah. By the way, I figured it out. It wasn't you.
It's totally my fault. So we're giving it another go today. We're going to talk about the purchasables, nationals that will be at nationals. We're going to talk about states. States now have come and gone, and we're going to talk about some good things, some bad things about states. Probably get into some discussion about Vulture.
We have to talk about Vulture. It's probably the most talked about thing right now. So
yeah, we're going to talk about that. We've got questions. Should we do last week's questions and this week's?
Yes, I would do both, just because the last week's guys didn't get a fair shot, didn't get a fair shake.
Yeah, so got a lot of questions to get to. And where do we want to start? Should we start with questions?
Yeah, let's jump right into, because we always do it that way. Let's jump right into the questions, because sometimes we always answer the questions a little early. So this might segue better into our conversations. So yeah.
Oh, show. All right. So we'll start off with this week's questions. Jeff Bozeman writes in, "What up, my guys? Best HeroClix podcast without question, along with the best hosts around. You are too flattering."
Thank you,
so I've started a job that requires me to commute an hour and a half to work, an hour and a half back home every day. So please crank out as many podcasts as you can for me to listen to. I'll get right on that.
Yeah, we'll do as best we can. I've been slacking on the live videos as well, so I'll gotta get some of those up.
I mean, I don't think we're gonna do 2 1 hour and a half podcasts a day, 5 days a week. So
no.
But again, we'll do what we can.
We're trying to up the content. We've got a lot of things working. The live videos, the podcast. AJ's doing the blog still, so we've got a lot to. We're working on it.
Yep. States coverage. I even tried to throw some of that up.
Yes.
All right. So now to his question. He says, if you had to choose between going to Origins and getting some purchasable con LEs and playing in some BRs, or getting a case of the upcoming X-Men the Animated Series, which would you choose and why? Thanks so much for your continued positive contributions to our awesome HeroClix community. Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question.
An easy one for, I think, both of us.
I mean, neither one of us is going to Origins, so that's kind of it's an easy question. But let's say hypothetically, we could go to Origins if we wanted to.
Hypothetically?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to Origins.
I would go
10
to
times
Origins.
out of 10.
I would go to Origins, and then I would take any of the extra stuff I got, and I would trade it for X-Men stuff.
For the X-Men stuff.
So I mean, it's a self-solving problem.
Well, I mean,
but
it's you're talking about. I mean, and you're kind of comparing apples to oranges here too, because
Yeah.
half the fun with going to something like Origins is the experience itself. It isn't so much just playing in battle royals and buying the collectible stuff.
Yeah.
It's the experience itself, and a lot of
The
people
people.
were upset over how Worlds was handled. I loved Worlds
Mhm.
last year just for the fact that I got to meet everyone. I got to be a part of Worlds. I was in my opinion, probably one of the greatest cities in the country because I love Philadelphia. Um, so it was the experience where some things handled incorrectly or where some things could have been better. Sure, absolutely, but the experience you're paying for the experience and not
Mhm.
just battle royals and collectible stuff. So
Yeah.
that's my take on
Like
it.
like when I go to Origins, it's always fun. I get to see the Pushing guys. I get to see the 4 points gaming.
4 points gaming. Yep.
Yeah, I get to see those guys. I get to see my Texas guys. Uh, my dude Will Gordon. Shout out to Will because Will
Yeah.
does not do social media, and Will is just like he's the man. I'll just say that he's a great dude. Let's see. I get to see just a lot of people. There's actually like some fun stuff to do. It's always nice to go. Like if Clay goes, we'll go to dinner and have a good dinner, and we can get some drinks at the bar across the street, or there's like the arcade bar. If that's something that you like to do, um, there's a ton of stuff, and
Hmm.
it's actually a show to see, like a convention. So if you like to play other games, there's like you can demo new games and things like that. So
Absolutely. They have Kickstarter games that are there sometimes being demoed, so you can get
yep,
on the ground floor, stuff like that.
yeah. So it's a pretty good time. I really liked it. The thing is for me, it's pretty expensive to go. Um, I mean, there's things you could do. Like I know, like there's certain guys I won't name them because I don't know if they want me to name them, but they pre sell kind of like purchasables and things like that, and they fund. There's guys that fund their entire trips that way. I don't like to do that because it's kind of a gamble, right? Because like, what if you don't get everything that you promised?
Yeah.
So there's that, but some people that's just how they do it, and that's cool. I respect that game. I respect that hustle. So there's things you can do if you really want to go, but I just don't like to do that because I'm not a big risk taker in that way. So, but yeah, I mean, I would go to Origins if I had my druthers. Um, Speaking of X-Men, Randy Patton says, how many of the X-Men big figures coming out this summer will have retaliation? More specifically, do you think any X-Men keyword will be retaliators?
Yes.
All of them. All of
I think it's going to be very close to Avengers Infinity. You're going to see some figures that are not
them.
retaliators. They're going to be there just for that. And I think that there will be um the reemergence of off the ID card retaliators again.
Yeah.
I think Iceman will be off the ID card as a retaliator. I think Professor X will be off the ID card as a retaliator. Um, if we get a Phoenix, a Dark Phoenix, or the Jean Grey regular Phoenix, because back in the day, for those that that weren't playing back then, you had the super exclusive. You had to get like the colossal Dark Phoenix, and then they had a colossal Jean Grey. So I think we're gonna get those, and one of them will have a retaliation
Yeah.
off of the ID card as well.
There was Armor's Wars Phoenix,
Hmm.
which was like I believe it was like a mail away.
I think one was a con exclusive. The Dark Phoenix was a
The
con
Dark Phoenix was con
exclusive.
exclusive. I had that one.
Yes, I had
I
both because in the Armor Wars one, you had to send in the box tops or bottoms, the barcodes
mhm.
to Wizard Magazine, and
Yeah.
then if you sent them a receipt that you bought the brick from
Yep.
a brick and mortar store, and then the box tops, you could then
Mhm.
purchase it. So I had one of those.
Yeah, I had the Dark Phoenix. That was an ordeal to get.
That was there's
I
a
ta- I
lot of
talked
those.
I talked about it on one of your live videos back a while back. How they kind of hosed a lot of people, but we're not gonna talk about all that.
That's a
That's
whole different era. That was back when Tops owned things,
hmm
and there was just the
and
amount of like you guys complain about like how chases and stuff are now. Trying to get your hands on some of these figures that they
the
made back
LEs,
then
the LEs,
was almost impossible.
yeah,
It was
trying to get the level 6 boxed LEs. Was,
absolutely,
yeah, no, that wasn't
it was a
happening.
nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about guys like Victor Creed and Jane
Jane Foster,
Foster. That's
Farzu,
you would find her on eBay going for $200.
Farzu was an expensive one for a while.
Who was the other one? Mole Man. What was his name?
I don't remember. I know
Oh,
little Sure Shot
Rupert.
Rupert, yeah, little Sure Shot was
Yep.
for a little bit pretty popular. Um, yeah, there was a bunch, you know. I never got Teth Adam. That was the one I always wanted to get, the Black Adam Ellie.
Oh, I had him.
I
That was
didn't
from
get.
what, Legacy?
hmm
Yeah, I
No,
think I.
no,
No.
Unleashed.
Um, yes, there you go. I had
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, we're getting way off topic.
It's part like yeah. That I
So
mean,
so so the retaliators. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll be a lot like Avengers Infinity. There's gonna be some that retaliate, some that are gonna like 50 points, some that really aren't playable. You know.
they're gonna be figures we've wanted,
Yeah.
but figures like and people will collect them just because it's X-Men stuff. Like
hmm
they're probably gonna make 4 different Sentinels for crying
Yeah,
out
it's
loud.
gonna go like on my shelf. Like a lot of the stuff I have on my
Absolutely.
shelf is like coming down, and they're going up.
They'll
Colossal,
they'll
colossal
play in
X-Men
big
stuff. Hell yeah.
tournaments. They'll play in like scenarios where you're gonna do X-Men versus like Sentinels or something,
hmm
but they're not gonna be competitive in
Yeah.
that sense.
Christian Bogan says, "Holy con exclusives, Batman. Which ones do you like the most? Why is Dupe always fantastic? And do you think the Batmobile, his favorite from this year, is going to see play?" Well, let's take a look at that. That's a
That's a good
perfect segue.
segue. Look at
That's
that.
nice. Look at that.
Look at that.
See what happens when we think ahead of time.
Just saying. A good
Just
alley oop. Boom!
boom. Okay. Got the Batmobile. The Batmobile lost its wheel, and the Joker got away. That's the next one. See?
Can I just say that it just the digital image itself, it looks super sharp.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to get this Batmobile.
For
Very
those
excited.
for those that don't know, because they lived under a rock through the '90s and 2000s, this is from the animated series cartoon. That's very very cool. So the Batmobile, it's got, as you can see, 3-point values. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening, sorry, we'll try and go through it quick. It's got 3-point values: 150, 150. It's got the Batman Ally team ability, 2 passengers. It's got a special movement, charge running shot, but only if Batmobile has a pilot. And when it uses running shot after resolutions, you may place its pilot adjacent to a target of the attack. So it's like, it's just cruising up, and then you shoot or punch, and then you pop a dude out, and he can do whatever.
Basically
Pretty,
Batman style, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It does stuff and then boom, out comes
yeah,
Batman.
yep. It's got a special damage power when Batmobile has no action tokens. Line of fire drawn to it and adjacent friendly characters are hindered. So it's got the camouflage mode.
That's amazing.
It's got the Alfred send the car to pick me up trait, which gives it autopilot, and adjacent friendly standard characters with the Batman family keyword can be given a free action instead of a power action to become this vehicle's pilot. So that's nice.
That's
Piloting
amazing.
for free. That's really nice. It's got the pilot ability. Earl has her tuned up real nice. Prerequisite Batman family keyword, it gives it willpower. So it's got on its big dial 12 movement, 11 precision strike, 12 has the special movement power. It's got invulnerability and empower, so that's really nice because it can charge 6 squares with precision strike, hit, pop Batman out, empower Batman. Like, woo, that's
Yep.
fire. So then on its 100-point dial, it's got just regular charge with quick, toughness, and enhancement. And then on its 50-point dial, it's got sidestep, in cap, You're probably not using that too much because 9 attack. It's got 16 defense with toughness and 2 damage with the special damage ability. Although you can use the pilot stats, right? So if you got a good Batman, I guess, or a good pilot, I guess you could make it happen, Captain. What do you think, man? That's pretty cool.
mean, here's this is a legitimate question I have to ask because I don't have this stuff in front of me. If a character has equipment on them, can it pilot the Batmobile and keep the equipment?
Yeah.
Okay, because if that's the case, then I all day every day I'm playing it at like the 100-point value to charge, quake, then pop out like what is it? The rare Batman with the Batarang.
Yeah.
You get a free attack from range with the Batarang with the enhancement.
It doesn't have that power on the 100.
Oh, it's the movement power.
It's the movement power. It's only on the 150-point dial.
Well, damn then.
That's still not bad though.
I still like it. I
like monthly OP. Like I would bring that. That's dope.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on. We got the controlled Batmobile.
This is the one that I like the most.
Okay, controlled Batmobile. So it's pretty much the same dial. No, it's not the same dial. It's 125, 75, and 50.
Yes.
It's got and it's 125. It's got 3 clicks of charge, 3 clicks of special attack, 3 clicks of invulnerability, 2 clicks of shape change.
Yes.
On 75, it's got the sidesteps, energy explosion, toughness, 2 clicks of shape change. And then the 50, it's got 2 clicks of sidestep. It's got special attack power all the way through, toughness, and 2 clicks of shape change. But it's still passenger 2. So it's got a trait. When I'm done, you'll be Flatman and Ribbon. That's pretty good. It's got the ram ability. When controlled Batmobile uses the ram ability, it may change directions once. So if you're familiar with the ram, what it basically does is you go on a straight line and you close attack all the characters you move through. So this lets you move directions one time.
Yes.
So that's useful. It's got the trait pilot ability. No, you idiots, it's me. It's prerequisite Batman enemy team ability. Other friendly characters with the Batman enemy team ability modify attack +1. So that's nice. Just a static buff. And then it's got, for its special attack power is, what's this button do? Free. Roll a d6. Controlled Batmobile can use the resulting effect until your next turn. So on a 1, you immediately place a pilot in an adjacent square of an opponent's choice. That character can't become this vehicle's pilot this turn. 2 is range combat expert. 3 is close combat expert. 4 is smoke cloud as free. 5 is quake, and 6 is pulse wave. So
yes,
pulse wave's cool, but like there's not a lot that lends itself to pulse wave on this dial. So it's like sidestep or charge.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, I think it's really cool.
I enjoy it a lot. The shape change is good. Being able to use RAM and to be able to change directions once is awesome. So you're able to, these swarm teams that we're seeing, a lot of Avengers teams, this thing will come right through and be able to ram almost an entire section of retaliators or something. I like it. I like this dial is, and like I said, the shape change is good. I like the shape change on it.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, we've got Doop. Doop is the man. Doop is my favorite, I think, of the purchasables. So Doop's got a full dial almost of sidestep. His last 2 clicks, he's got Earthbound, a special attack, and a special defense. But on 1 through 6 is sidestep and toughness. He's got a trait, Easy Rider with the Tiger, and it gives him RAM. So we talked about RAM already. When Doop uses it, instead of dealing Doop's printed damage value, roll a d6 for each hit character and deal them damage equal to the result. So that's nice.
Yes.
His printed damage is a 2 on most of his clicks. So like if you roll a 6, like just mowing dudes down for 6 damage, that's crazy.
That's nuts.
I think he's upset about Sugar Mama. Penetrating Psychic Blast with a range value of 8, free. This turn, replace Doop's attack value with the printed speed value of an opposing character within 8 squares. So if anybody's playing like a Super Taxi you can get big attack values going. Although he's an 11 or 10 on most of his dials, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's was that the special attack value for that? I think he's
Yeah, always a 9 on the dad, I guess.
so yeah.
So that's pretty good. And then his special defense is done reach the end of the line, stop. When this power is first revealed, generate a Tiger Bystander.
Oh.
His Tiger Bystander has charge, blades, and toughness, 8, 10, 16, and 1. For 60 points, this guy's pretty good.
This is, for 60?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the keywords on this bad boy? I think it's got decent
X-Force,
keywords.
X-Men, X-Statics, and Animal. Keyword.
Very good keywords. They're playable on some theme teams. So
and it's Doop on a Harley with the American flag on it and a big ass tiger on it.
And a big ass tiger.
I mean, what's not to love about that? And I love the little clear smoke effect coming out the tailpipes. It's nice. I think this is my favorite.
It's gonna see play. It should see a lot of play, in my opinion, after rotation.
We've got the whatever BC Ghost Rider this is, 10 million, 10,000, whatever it is. Sorry for those people that
the sculpt is amazing.
The sculpt's amazing. As you can see, it is a 2x2 dial. It's colossal. It's freaking Ghost Rider riding a woolly mammoth that's on fire.
On fire.
Yeah, it's caveman Ghost Rider. It's pretty cool.
It's so good.
Yeah, so he's got hypersonic speed on 300 points with 12, 19, and 5, which is precision, strike, invincible, and prob. He's a colossal. He's got Indom. He's got mystics. At 200 points, he's got charge, quake, impervious, and exploit. And then on 100 points, he's got sidestep, poison, invulnerability, and close combat expert. So depending on which point dial he's on, his powers don't change. And his stats change a little bit, but not too bad. His highest attack is a 12, and his lowest attack is a 10.
He's good. He's good. I mean,
so let's talk about his retaliations. He's got Colossal Retaliation, Mammoth of Vengeance. So dumb. Power. If no friendly character has been placed this turn, choose an opposing character that KO'd a friendly character since your last turn and occupies the same row or column as Ghost Rider. Place Ghost Rider in any 4 squares in the same rows or columns that contain both all of Ghost Rider and the chosen character. Make a close attack targeting all characters occupying the rows or columns between where Ghost Rider began this action and its current square, regardless of adjacency. Hit characters are each dealt 2 penetrating damage instead of normal damage. He's got another trait. Opposing characters within 3 squares can't use Pulse Wave and deal normal damage instead of penetrating damage. And then he's got another trait. When another friendly character named Ghost Rider hits, after resolutions, remove an action token from Ghost Rider. When another friendly character attacks, when another friendly character named Ghost Rider hit, after resolutions, deal the attacker 1 penetrating damage. So it's got like double mystics. So yeah, he's pretty good, but what sucks about him is something has to die in order for him to go off. And then he's got no, I mean, I don't mind this, but he's got no stop click, right? So you're not knocking him onto his retaliation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's traded, so he always has it, but it's not like, if you play him at 100 points, he can be one-shotted.
Absolutely.
So, there's pros and cons, but turning off Pulse Wave and penetrating damage is like super good.
Yeah, I mean, I like the way that the figure looks, and I mean, it'd be fun to play, but you have to go through too many hoops to actually get the retaliation to go off properly and things like that. It just,
yeah.
Too restrictive, but an awesome, I mean, it's probably the best looking figure that we have.
It looks nice. It looks super nice. Let's see. We've got Kyle Rayner. Your boy Kyle Rayner.
I'm not happy with this one.
So basically, he's 170 points. He's got Quintessence. He's got all the Lantern Corps keywords when you build Force. So he's always going to be theme if you're playing something like that.
Yeah, with the 6 Green Lanterns we have that are modern right now.
He's got Exploit Weakness, Psychic Blast, and when he hits after resolutions, if no hit character was KO'd, heal him a click. If one or more silent character was KO'd, instead deal him one unavoidable damage. So that's pretty awful.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Life, which gives him stop and regen, which is cool, but whatever. And then he's got 3 clicks of shape change and support and mystics. Otherwise, he's got running shot, impervious, and shape change. And then he goes to charge, invuln, perplex, sidestep, poison, barrier, and the special damage. And he's got phasing, poison, and his stop click. He's pretty booty, if you ask me. I mean, he's not booty. He's cool.
Yeah,
The sculpt. I think the sculpt looks nice, and
the sculpt is awesome. I enjoy the sculpt a lot. The dial is the issue.
So the deal is, for me, this is. I would not mind if Rayner was like a purchase or a winnable. Which I don't. Wait, was he a winnable or was he a purchasable? We'll look back into that.
I think he's a winnable.
So for me, I think that's fine then, because what you don't want is these winnables that are overpowered, that are hard to get, and so then these guys, and I've always said this on the show, it sucks. Like Batmite, when Batmite came out, it was super hard to get, and then if you had him, you just ruin your local gaming with them. So that's no fun. This guys like this Ghost Rider, that's pretty cool. He's pretty good. He's not overwhelmingly good, but he's pretty good and he's cool. Doop's pretty good, same deal, and the Batmobile again, same kind of deal, right? So I'm fine with this. Could he be more competitive? Sure, but I'm okay with it.
It's just it's the overall feel of him. He's just very clunky. He doesn't have invincible, so he can be in one turn he can be just brought right down to his stop click.
It's got shape change.
Okay, but I mean, throw a Venom harness on something, and now you've got Battle Fury. I mean, there's options to get around.
Throw the Blood Axe on somebody.
Exactly. He can be chopped through quickly.
You gotta hit him for 7. You gotta hit him for 7 to get him to that stop click. There's a lot of figures that can do 6. There's not a lot that can do 7.
I mean, it's just in the current status of the game and things like that. His value, I'm not upset with the values. His values are very good. He's got a good range. Quintessence is good. Just the power set is very weird. To have just a flat barrier and not have it grouped with a modifier or something is very weird.
That's not defense, though.
Oh yeah, it's 19. But I mean, if I hit you on that 17 with an invuln, I'm just going to go right over the barrier.
What I would have liked is, as part of his Reluctant Omega Lantern, I would have liked barrier as part of the trait, and then just something else there.
Yes.
Because, when is a Lantern character not going to have... this bothers me. Why do any Lantern characters not have barrier?
They should all have barrier, because they can all make constructs.
So, anyway.
So, yeah, basically you made the point. He should have something better there than just a flat barrier.
Some stuff could be better.
For 170 points, yes.
Yeah. So Lilandra, we've got Lilandra... It's gonna be this is her War of Kings appearance on issue number 2, which is actually a great storyline. So if you watch X-Men, the animated series, big part of the show during the Phoenix Saga, which is the set we have coming out later this year. So I'm sure this is gonna lend to that as well. She's got pretty decent stats, 7s through 10s on movement. 10s and 9s on attack, 18s through 16s on defense, 3s and 2s on damage, stealth, invuln, special damage, sidestep, precision, toughness, phasing, psychic blast, energy, shield deflection, and outwit. She's got trait universal psychic link at the beginning of the game. Choose another friendly character. When Lilandra and the chosen character are within 8 squares and either character takes damage from attack, after resolutions, you may heal the character that took damage 1 click and deal the other character 1 unavoidable damage. Protective pulse wave. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's got another trait when she's KO'd by an opponent's attack, may choose another character with the Shiar keyword. This game, that character modifies its combat values +1 and can use leadership, and that's Protective Pulse Wave. So she buffs the character when she dies. She's got leadership and perplex on her damage power, but only to target friendly characters. When Lilandra uses perplex, if the target has any of the keywords listed below until your next turn, also modify each of the corresponding combat values +1. X-Men is speed, Shiar is attack, Imperial Guard is defense, and Starjammers is damage. So those happen to be her keywords plus ruler. So what do you think of this figure, man?
Yeah, I mean she's not bad. I mean she's good. I mean 175 points. You're investing a lot of points in her.
100 or 75, right? Not 100
yes.
And 75. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think she's pretty fun. Again, this is what I want out of my con LEs, though. I don't want them to be overpoweringly good. They're good enough, and they're fun, and they're popular characters, so it's pretty good. My dogs are going nuts. Can you hear them?
I can hear them. Now that you mentioned it, yeah.
Oh well. So we've got Lobo. Lobo's got a bunch of stuff. So he's got beefy
Lobo.
stats. He's got beefy stats. He's got aggressive powers with good defense. He's got and one click of invincible, then a bunch of impervious, and a bunch of invuln. He's got hypersonic, then charge and sidestep, then super strength, and blades, and prob, close combat expert weakness, and he's got a trait where he is Sick'em Dog. Lobo starts the game with dog attached. When Lobo clears exactly one action token, or when dog hits an opposing character with an attack, you can heal Lobo a click. Free action, place an attached dog adjacent, or attach an adjacent dog. Dog is 3 movement with sidestep, 10 attack with blades, 19 defense with impervious, and 2 damage. Yeah, 19 impervious is silly for a bystander.
That's a badass dog right there, man.
Yeah. He's got banned from both the good place and the bad place, which is stop click toughness. Lobo takes no damage from attacks unless the attack roll is a 7. Attacks targeting Lobo can't be re-rolled. So that's pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, sculpt's nice. Dial's nice. Good power set. Decent point values. Like I'd play him at 125. Maybe not competitively, but like a winner map, I'd play him. 10 attack, 11 damage, or 10 movement, 11 attack, 19 defense with impervious, and 4 damage at 125. And you've got the dog bystander. Yeah. Like that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's dealing out some big damage. He's good. I like him. I think at 125 he's really, really good at 125.
Yep. We've got Magneto, who is my absolute favorite X-Men character. This is the Phoenix Force Magneto. The sculpt just badass. Just looks badass.
Is this one a purchasable too? I think it
is
listed as one, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's so sick.
Very good. For all those very
Phoenix
good move, WizKids. Very good move.
Yeah, for all those Phoenix Force collectors, like I know my guy Jason collects them. He had to get that Thane, which is I feel bad for him because Thane's so bad, but you know.
I'm just saying though, very smart move. If they made this a winnable? People would have lost their minds.
It'd be like $200 easy, probably.
Oh, absolutely. Making this a purchasable. Yep. I'm very happy with that. I'm not a huge Marvel guy, but making him a purchasable, brilliant move. I applaud them.
So he's got Phoenix 5 relinquished to me as protected in cap, mind control, and opposing TK. When he's KO'd, all friendly characters with the Phoenix Force keyword modify their combat values +1 this game, and that's protect pulse wave. So I don't know how many Phoenix Force characters you're playing with him. Seeing as his lowest point value is 125, but
one other maybe.
He's got special attack, penetrating psychic blast, pulse wave, TK, and knockback. When Magneto damages one or more opposing characters with an attack after resolutions, heal him and each adjacent friendly character one click. So that's pretty damn good. It's got a stop click on defense. When Magneto is KO'd after resolutions, deal 3 damage to all characters within range and line of fire, including friendly ones. That's interesting. Very interesting. Beyond that, he's got like running shot, invincible, outwit, hypersonic, impervious, sidestep, running shot, pulse wave, and energy shield on the same click, which is nice.
Yes.
He's got X-Men team ability, power cosmic. I mean, this guy's the shit. I like him.
He is able to be played by himself, and he is also, in my opinion, going to be a very, very good call-in figure off the Magneto ID card.
Ooh, I didn't even think of that.
125 points. He's going to come in with sidestep with a 9 movement, 10 with the special attack, which is the pulse wave, the knockback, all that stuff. The 18 with invulnerability, and 4 damage with outwit and an 8 range. So you're calling him in and deal big damage. You can outwit something, and then if they want to try and KO him to get the points, he's got the stop click and he's got the blow up ability. So 125 point call and he'll be good.
Who's calling him in though?
Black Panther is calling him in. Unimind teams are calling him in. There are some teams in the.
I feel like those teams just kind of use pulse wave anyways.
So I mean,
but we'll see.
But again, he might be one of those guys that you might need to call in for an outwit, and he can psychic blast, or he can TK something around, or I mean, he's a good Swiss Army knife. He's good to have on the sideline, just to have.
I want to play him personally at 200 points, like just for fun. We've got the Mandarin Rings, so we'll just run through them real quick. Improved target hindering. So demonic is improved target hindering, and this character attacks single character. Hit characters modify their attack and defense -1 until your next turn.
Every single one of the rings have that they can be equipped with a second ring as long as it's a Mandarin ring.
Right. Incandescence is energy explosion, and it's penetrating. So that's stupid good. Nightbringer.
I called that one.
Yeah, you did. Nightbringer, stealth, smoke cloud. Smoke cloud is free, but only to generate 2 markers. It's not bad. Spectral is precision strike. When this character attacks a single character and hits, you may choose that character deals 1 damage instead of normal damage. If you do, after resolutions, roll a d6. 4 through 6, remove an object equipped to a hit character from the game. So it's your matter rearranger ring.
Absolutely.
Or not matter. It's disintegration beam.
Disintegration beam. There you go.
Yeah. Spin is TK, and then free, choose a character within 3 squares in line of fire. Place that character in an adjacent square. I think this one's going to go well with Infinity.
Absolutely.
So good. We've got Bombshell Raven, who's actually pretty good. She's kind of a super taxi for 50 points.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the Bombshell shared trait, which pretty much all of them have.
Yep.
She's got a 20-point trait that I can't pronounce, and it says the first time this game Raven would be KO'd, instead turn her to click number 11 is protected pulse wave. So her click 11 is 10 movement, 11 attack, 18 impervious, 3 damage. Is charge, blades impervious, special damage, and her special damage is Trigon Reborn, which is Battle Fury, Colossal Size, Fist, and or Colossal Tombstone, and then the Quintessence team ability.
It's a throwback. The Colossal Tombstone.
So she's got a special movement, Whisked Away on the Winds of Magic. It's phasing and stealth. Passenger 4, she can carry characters with bombshell keywords regardless of wing symbol. And free, if she moved this turn, you may remove a bombshell token to heal all adjacent friendly characters with the bombshell's keyword 1 click. Characters healed this way, use stealth until your next turn. So that's pretty nice. Mm-hmm. She's got 18 defend and prob, and then she pushes to perplex, then goes back to prob, then goes back to perplex, and then she dies. And she's got mystics. So I actually think this one's pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is a winnable one.
It is.
I did at the Connecticut States. Somebody there was playing a bombshell theme team.
Oh yeah.
I think I think she's good. I think the Raven that we just got from Rebirth is better.
I think it's arguable because she can carry any 4 characters for 50 points, and she's got the defend to go with the prob. So that's nice.
Raven can carry characters with the bombshell keyword, regardless of the
Wing.
flight.
Yeah, but so the Rebirth Raven is she can only carry multiple characters if they share a keyword with her. So this
same thing here too, though.
No.
She can carry 4, but she can only carry.
She can carry 4. Period. And then
yes.
and then on top of that, if they have bombshells keyword, she can carry flyers. So she can carry any normal carryable characters. They don't have to share keywords with her or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's so there's like a give and take there.
Absolutely.
But I think if you're looking at 50-point line compared to 50-point line, I would tend to lean towards this one because I like the defend with the prob, but the other one has the perplex, the psychic blast, energy deflection, and then prob and support. So
yeah,
I mean it's like I said, it's a give and take.
It's depending on what you're trying to do with the team, I guess.
Yeah. So that's our con LEs this year. So just let me run through the list really quick. Purchasables are the 1 million BC Ghost Rider, Lobo, Phoenix Force, Magneto, the Batmobile, and Doop, and then the rest of the ones we talked about are winnable. So, I think fair play. I mean, I think the winnables. Obviously, the Mandarin Rings are really good, but those will probably be given out in BRs pretty generous.
Those are your ID cards now.
Like, yeah, pretty generously. I think what were they doing? Like 2 and then a figure, or what? Usually.
It was 3 at Worlds.
3. Okay.
They're doing 3 and a figure.
Yeah. So if they stay true to that, I mean it's pretty worth it. So let's see here. Go back to questions.
Yeah, keep running. It's just gonna flow right through it.
All righty. Zach Strong says, if you had to pick one older figure to be remade for modern, functionally the same piece but with modernized stats, what would it be? Oh man, that's tough.
Mine would have to. I mean, I don't think mine would need modernized stats. I would just want the power scheme to be different with modernized powers. But I would remake the Legacy Ares.
I love that piece. That's one of my favorites.
The sculpt is probably one of the best sculpts they've ever done. Very simple, but it was crisp. It was nice looking.
Just standing there posted on the axe.
Just standing there posted up with an axe, man. It was one of like the first like super rares that I got in the game that I was pumped to have.
This is my favorite piece from Legacy.
Oh, word. Yes, that Batman.
The masterpiece.
That Batman's amazing too. But yeah, that Ares, I would like him to have multiple starting lines. Maybe
when's the last time they did DC's Ares? Like they've done Marvels, but
DC 75.
Woo.
It was an okay sculpt, and it was just not a very good dial.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man.
It's been quite a while, man. They haven't done an Ares in a very long time, and I don't think the stats on the Legacy Ares was very good. I think the stats on the DC 75 were okay, but they just haven't been very playable, in my opinion. They've been very overcosted.
So Legacy Ares is 12 movement with phasing, 14 attack with super strength, 14 attack, 19 defense with impervious, and 5 damage without wit, with 8 range and mystics. So good.
He still stands up now. The phasing hurts him. Yeah,
but now we have I don't know.
Give him like a charge with improved movement, a couple things. Don't give him everything. So like improved movement hindering, I'd be okay with it.
Just imagine like him having charge and then like
he's gonna have flight, so never mind.
And then having like the octopus arms on him, like
14 attack. That was unheard of back then too. Like to
Yeah.
have like big, huge attacks like that. Because there are some guys you'd see that they would go down. Shit, Ultimate Thor, way back in the day, he started like with a 12. He ended with like like an 8 or a 7. He
Yeah.
went down
Yeah.
14 defense. He went downhill quick. He fell off a cliff.
Yeah. He did. For me, let's see here. I would say, oh man, I was gonna say Despero, but we're getting
Oh,
a new Despero.
we're getting a Despero.
So
Very classic sculpt too.
yeah, I believe it's the Arkham Asylum sculpt.
It is, I think, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, oh man, I was gonna say Despero, but now I don't know. Um, let's see here. I'm scrolling through the sets. Ooh,
What was your favorite set from back then?
my
From way
favorite set is Cosmic Justice.
All right, so let's think of Cosmic Justice then.
Martian Manhunter, that's my dude.
We're
Oh,
getting a Martian Manhunter,
yeah, we are.
and he looks in the sculpt looks bomb.
See, the problem is the DC characters, they only make like certain DC characters like pretty common.
Every decade.
Yeah.
Like
No, but the ones that I like are like Flash, Martian Manhunter, Batman. So we get Flash and Batman a lot.
Martian
So it's
Manhunter we haven't had since
the White Lantern, the LE.
I think so, yeah.
That was the last one. And then
The con exclusive one, right?
no,
Was
he
one of
was
the last ones we
he was-
got too.
no, there was a super rare in a Trinity War.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I forgot about him. No, you're right. It was him, it was the con exclusive, and then it was him on the Oreo throne. Raven the
That,
Bold.
that was Brave and the Bold. There was the Black Lantern, Manhunter. There was the White Lantern from Brightest Day, the little starter set or whatever it was.
Oh, I forgot about him too. That was such a bad starter.
And then there was the 10th anniversary one. So that's all.
Because it had him, and then it had him. I don't consider it because the Martian Manhunter sculpt was weird.
Yeah.
He looked like one of the damn aliens from Signs.
How about Fire Lord?
Oh,
I could get down with the new Fire Lord.
we've only had the one what back in Universe Infinity Challenge.
There was the Coming of Galactus event, Fire Lord.
Yeah, yeah. It was him and Stardust or whatever it was.
Stardust, Terrax, and Silver Surfer.
Yes.
And then there was the Judge LEs that were super hard to get.
Oh God, yeah.
But I actually have a couple. I have the Sentinel, Skyways, and Lambda Zero.
I think I had all 4 of them back then.
But yeah, I would go Fire Lord.
Fire Lord would be cool. I mean, if you think back, like way back in the day, to like some of the figures that were super quote unquote meta back then, like
Yeah.
I would love to have them make.
Blizzard is another one that's fun. That was good back then. Let's see.
I would like
Destiny was fun.
This is mine. I would like for WizKids to make 2 different, kind of like how they did with like the 10th anniversary. Make me a DC Classics and a Marvel Classics, and bring back some of those sculpts and stuff from back then. Redo the dials.
Yeah.
But like, give us like this is the Fire Lord from Infinity Challenge.
Woo. I thought I broke my Barbados right now.
Oh God, what are you doing, bro?
I'm putting it down.
What are you doing? Like, I would like for them, instead of them making like newer versions of stuff from like comic books right now or stuff like that, I would like for them to basically kind of like what Magic the Gathering does. They reprint cards. I would like a reprint set of like old school, like really cool. Like I like the Punisher, the first Punisher we got, where it was him like rolling,
like
shooting.
he's like rolling. Yeah.
But he's like a midget though. He's like Puck. He's really small compared to everyone else. It's like,
I love that piece,
man.
man.
Frank.
I played against it.
Awesome
I played against experienced Punishers so many times. My brother loved that piece, and he had the Frank Castle. What did they call them? They weren't. So they were the same as the LEs, but at that point you can pull them. Do you remember what they were called? There was like Wade Wilson, Frank Castle, Nathaniel Summers, Clarice Ferguson. So they had them in pack.
Some of them were.
Some of them, yeah. Do you remember that?
I
What did,
do.
I don't remember the name they had for them, but I don't know. We gotta move
I
on.
don't remember either.
All right. So for you, you said Ares. For me, I said Firelord. Okay.
Firelord, two classics.
Drew Warren, what has been your least favorite team to play against in your meta career, barring Felix Faust? I loved playing Faust, except for when George played him. Other than that, I love playing. I beat every Faust except for George, and then like Kenji beat me, but it wasn't because of Faust. So
I mean, the teams that I don't like playing against are the ones that kind of go against the whole like experience of playing HeroClix. The
I
teams that are meant to like I don't want to say stall. It's a very negative word, and people throw it around loosely. But people that purposely play teams that are slow and meant to not be aggressive or even try to attack, like the ones that just kind of tippy toe in their starting areas. I don't, and it is a valid play style, and I get it, but it's just
yeah, it's you don't like it though. You don't like it.
yes,
I don't. I never liked playing against Iron Pharaoh.
yeah, like stuff
I
like
think Iron Pharaoh was just like way too good for his time. Um,
Pharaoh, Phantom X was kind of that way too back
but
then.
Pharaoh
There
could
was
pulse
there,
wave through the Eagle. Phantom X
yes,
couldn't really. I mean, he could, but it'd be one damage. So like that's totally different.
but again though, it's they're hiding back in their starting area and they're sending out something. They're still playing like kind of aggressively, but again, it's still that slow. I'm gonna wait here. You have to come get me. Well, I don't know. I just
See, Iron Pharaoh ignored everything for line of fire,
hmm
and freaking Phantom X didn't. So that was another big difference.
well, yeah, it was like
So
Phantom X on steroids.
oh yeah, I didn't like playing that. I didn't like playing like after a while the orange battery teams just got like super like depressing to play against. You know, it's like it's just so the game is so like slow. Like I don't know.
It's the way that the game
It's
is played now and then is totally different.
yeah,
It's
it's tough for me because like I did well in that time period. You know, I even
but there's so many moving parts.
yeah I had yeah but to be honest, I prefer that to the current meta because I'm not a fan of like I liked ID cards in the beginning, but I just think they're like too good now. I think like the Avengers assembled ID cards were fine, but the Nick Fury ID cards got kind of crazy. Um, some of the Justice League ones were pretty good, like the Atom, Green Arrow, um, Hawkeye got really good. So like
Nightwing.
yeah, and I'm not a fan of like retaliators. I would say retaliators to me are the biggest thing I don't like playing against, and it's not because they're too good or anything like that. I don't really like stuff that can just travel across the map and make attacks without like any sort of real like strategy to it. You know, like
No,
I
I
don't know,
got you.
there's strategy in the way that it's built and all that, but like it just happens. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. So I would say my is like my the current meta is like my least favorite thing to play.
Really?
Yeah, like I love the current modern, but I like modern limited. That's my favorite
Okay.
format. So
I don't mind. I played in both. Like it was so slow. Okay, I'm gonna roll for the battery. Okay, I'm gonna spin. Okay, I'm gonna assign constructs. Okay, and by the time they're done, it's like you're already 5 minutes in, and they're just like they're sorting out everything they're doing with a battery, and it was just very bogged down. I mean, at least with the current stuff, it's very simple. I have equipment on these guys. I have some call-ins that I can call in, and retaliators. If they're gonna want to suck them across the map and feed me points, come on over. I'm cool with it.
yep. Jason Labendera writes in says, "Do you think there should be a limit to the bonus a theme team gets a map roll? Also, do you think WizKids should incentivize name theme teams more? I know a lot of more casual players enjoy comic accuracy in the game. And it might even help grow the game if a person walking into a game sees the Justice League or a store sees Justice League against Avengers instead of a bunch of whales and Venoms or Walking Woods and Black Panthers. So this Jason's one of my local guys. We talked about this at States actually. This came up, and I think he has a point. Even Adam Friedman about limiting the plus to theme team.
Yes, I will agree with that.
And actually, even Adam Friedman brought this up in a group chat the other day, and was talking about that he thinks that prob and initiative should get swapped in some way. But like what we were talked about is like if you limited theme team to just +5 the same way as theme team probability control, it's like, okay, the most you can get is +5. So
that was going to be my point 100%.
Yeah.
You limited theme team probs to 5 to simplify it. Limit your theme team to +5.
Yeah.
It would limit the amount of these Avengers spam teams you see that are getting +7 or +8.
Well, even if it doesn't, like, it gives you a chance at least at map roll if you're non-theme, and like it gives you a chance to, like, even if I'm playing just a +2 theme, I have a decent chance to combat the team, you know, rather than just losing because I went second.
Exactly. And but that's the thing, is this is where we are now, because location bonuses are very good, and people, I would say right now map is almost, if not more important than the actual team that you're playing, because at my States, and we'll get into this later on, there are 2 Tri-Sentinel teams.
Yeah.
And they needed to win map to make sure that there was enough blocking terrain out there for them to get off the combos that they wanted. So map is becoming more and more important in modern play right now, especially with location bonuses.
Yep.
To the point where people are building these teams to get a +7, +8 ridiculous amounts of theme incentive roll.
Yep. I'm gonna take a quick minute to talk about Walking Woods, since we're talking about Walking Woods right now.
There you go.
Check this out. So I got these custom Walking Woods figures. Can you see them very good?
Pull it back some. Perfect. There's good. It was focusing good there. Yep, perfect.
So I got this from my guy Paul at Hyper to Sonic Custom Clicks. Let's see, I'll share the screen right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yes, so they know how to spell it.
So this guy got him from Paul. Paul's kind of new into modding, but as you can see, does a fantastic job. Here's a Beerus here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that Beerus is sick. He's got actual wearable, equipable things for your characters. So you got Exo Specs, octopus arms. He made this Deadpool Merc Jet where it sings like a Deadpool song. It's got, like, the Beerus lights up. That's pretty sick.
That's awesome.
Here's the Eric Killmonger from the MCU.
That was cool. I saw that. It looks just like from the movie.
Yep. Garnet sculpt from Steven Universe. He's got a bunch of cool stuff. Starro fights. He's got. Yeah.
Oh.
Sick. Yeah. So he's got some pretty cool stuff. There's the Walking Woods. He sent me the Biting Vines.
Oh God.
Kenji, get your Biting Vines from Paul. Saitama.
Kenji's got to get those.
Look at this Saitama One Punch Man.
Ooh. Oh God.
So if you guys have a chance.
Stegron stuff.
Yeah. Check out Paul. He does a pretty good job with his customs. My son literally smashed one of these, and all I did was bent it back, and it was good to go. So not only are they good, but they're durable too. So check out Paul's Facebook page. Send him a message if you're interested in anything he's got. I'm pretty sure he'll work with you about price if you whatever it is, but it's pretty affordable from what in my opinion. So
I mean, some of those mods are cool. The star fights were amazing.
So these are all made from green stuff only. They're not mods from other figures or whatever. These are things he sculpted and painted himself. And obviously some things like this ball here are stuff that he picked up somewhere else. But like the characters themselves, they're all custom sculpted. So go check them out. Anyways, back to the regularly scheduled show. Let's see. That's it for this week's questions. Let's take a break from questions. We'll talk about states. How was your states, dude?
I played like ass cheeks.
Awesome.
I think I got 14th out of 17 people.
Nice.
So it was not a good day for dice.
I don't mean to brag, but I did an excellent job of judging.
You did a good job of judging. I had a professional judge come in so I could play.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but no, man, I mean, 17 guys showed up. 3 showed up just to do battle royals and hang out. They were 2 of my regulars.
Yep. That always happens, right? There's always a couple guys that show up like that. Yeah,
well, I mean, one of them, he's on leave right now from the military, so he came up to do Easter with his family, brought his son. They do the Transformers trading card game right now.
Oh yeah.
So they played that.
My judges were playing that.
It's simple, but anyways, we're not talking about that. But so him and his son played that until we had enough people to fill a table for battle royals. My brother showed up to do battle royals for a little bit. So, But now we had a lot of really, like I said before, we had a lot of really good teams, a lot of unique teams.
Yeah.
Kapu, he ran the final 4 ended up being 2 different variations of monster teams.
Yeah.
And 2 variations of mystical Tri-Sentinel teams.
Oh, nice. So monsters, I'm guessing, was like Venom type stuff, right?
It was one team. One team was one of my local guys, Jason Osborne, and he ran a monster team, and it had the Venom cap, it had Venom Spider-Man, it had I think actual Venom with the symbiote.
Yep.
It had
about to get real loud in here.
Surtur, Carnage. I think there was one more Chase on the team. He had no sideline, no call-in IDs, nothing. You just played a flat team with 2 retaliators and some objects.
Yeah.
He went up against Rob Real, who played his Cap Venom Spider-Man with a Goblin King at 75.
Oh yeah.
Rob ended up beating Jason, and then Kenji played Kapu. They both ran 2 different style mystical teams. Kenji's he had more figures to actually. I think he played Shredder Clone with his Tri-Sentinels. Kenji ended up beating Kapu, and then it was razor thin to the finish, where I think Rob edged out Kenji by 1 KO, basically.
Wow.
So it was tight, though. They were jockeying and moving and running, and it was a damn good match.
Yeah, that's cool. Our states was good. Oh, your pricing got there in time and everything? With that, sort of?
Oh, no, I didn't get a chase set. The reason that I had a guy come down is because they were delivering me a chase set.
Oh wow! Okay, so
this is what happened.
Almost
there was a mix up with the shipping, and I already had someone coming to my venue, and they set it up like, hey, it's not going to be in your shipment, but I'm bringing it. So we're
making sure somebody else gets it, and since
exactly. They were taking care of another store, so they're like, don't have your store owner freak out. My store owner loved it, Joe from Sarge's Comics.
Yeah.
We had a big sale, 25% off all Hero Clicks.
Yeah.
It was a good time. My fiance brought pizza for everyone. It was a good time. We had some gripes about prizing in the way.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You want to hear about gripes about pricing? Wait till.
Oh no, yours. I understand yours, but all right. So I mean, it was from a guy who lived in Connecticut.
Okay.
From what I was told, I didn't hear this from his mouth, but others told me that this was like his second, quote unquote, actual big event he went to.
Okay.
So obviously
What
he
does that
doesn't,
matter for?
because he doesn't understand how prizing works.
Okay.
Every other, like, you go to other places, like, you have to wait to the end to draft prizing. So he placed outside of the top 8,
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden, well, we all have to go. I'm like, all right, and we kind of like, we're like, all right, like, like, well, to get prizing, you have to wait to the end.
Yeah.
Why? Why can't I just pick now? Because the guys who are in the top 8 get precedence over.
They get picked. They
They
get priority.
pick first, and whatever falls to you. And the two guys from Massachusetts, they placed in top 12 as well. And they were like, no, we already have the chases and stuff that we want, so don't even worry about it. We're just going to go shop. And they ended up dropping like $300 just shopping in the store. And it was cool. And they were like, no big deal. We're just going to take off to go shop and then roll out of here. Because they understood how it worked.
Yeah.
So it was just this big stink. And it was, so, the question that I asked them was, so you mean to tell me that it's a big deal now because you're leaving because you didn't make top 8? Well, what happens if you made top 8?
Yeah.
And his response, well, he didn't have a response then, but later on he decided to throw it up on social media that, we already had the conclusion that even if I was in first place, we were dropping and leaving. I'm like, no, you weren't.
Yeah,
like you're just trying to save face now. I get it.
That's not really my problem.
and that's basically what it boils down to. Is like that was the biggest thing. We want more prizing. We want better prizing. They came out with a Thor, and then they blame WizKids need to do a better job at this, and WizKids needs to do this, and WizKids. And I said, no, this isn't a WizKids event.
Yeah.
What do you mean this isn't a WizKids event?
It's a ROC event.
It's a ROC event.
Yep.
And WizKids is just being so gracious to offer up extra prizing.
I got a lot of that too. For my end, we didn't get our prize kit.
Yeah.
So.
You just didn't get it in time.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So our guy obviously I don't work for the store, but I was helping organize the event or whatever. And so my guy Cody, he messages me Thursday, and he's like, "Hey, dude, we still haven't got the prize kit yet." He's like, "Can you see if you can find out what's going on?" I'm like, "Sure." Because right now the store is so we play at Hobbytown, and it's not just like a LGS; it's a general hobby store. So they do like airsoft, RC cars, things like that.
Okay, wow.
Trains,
so all hobbies. It's models.
All hobbies, yeah. Models, yeah, everything.
Okay.
So and they're short staffed right now, and so Cody's taking care of a lot of stuff. So I'm like, yeah, dude, no problem. I'll see what I can do. So I messaged Howard and reach out, see if he knew what was going on, if he had tracking or anything like that, and then he lets me know. He had a quick reply, so that's a plus, but he let me know basically that there were 2 states that were not going to get their prizing in time. And I'm like, all right. So like my big issue was like, if you knew that, why didn't you tell me?
Why didn't you? Problem solve that ahead of time. I understand what you're saying.
So.
Be a little proactive instead of reactive.
Proactive, yeah. So then there was a story that, and I'm sure Howard was telling me the truth as far as he knew it. That UPS had promised him it was going to get there on Saturday, and he was talking to a supervisor, and then Saturday it wasn't there, so I was messaging him. All of a sudden, our package tracking got updated to investigating or whatever, your lost package. And then first thing Sunday morning, it was back to being delivered Monday. So basically they said, oh, yeah, we're looking for it. But they really knew where it was, and it was coming up.
Yeah, they just, the old bait and switched you.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, well, that sucks. So I made the announcement basically after round 3 that we weren't going to give out prizing before players went home. So
yikes.
I explained the situation. Thankfully, I know a lot of the players in California and that showed up, and they were all pretty cool about it. And they're like, well, we're gonna eventually get it, right? And I'm like, yes, you're gonna get it. I'm gonna get all your contact info. You're gonna get your pricing, and we'll mail it to you. So they're pretty cool with that. They know it's out of my control and out of the store's control, so we didn't have like a big riot, thank God. But you know, I would have hated to, like, so I didn't have like a great turnout, compared to what we normally did. We had 15 players, which isn't bad, but normally we've been doing around 30 for states, 30 to 40. And so part of that I think it was a big part of it, honestly, is the ROC's calendar issues that they're having. If you're following other pages on Facebook, you'll see like Lane was a big one, talking about like, hey, when's the ROC schedule coming up for states? It's in 2 weeks. Da, 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 da. So I don't want to harp on that too much, but I think that hurt us a lot. And so the thing is, like, when I give feedback about that, it was like, well, WizKids is supposed to do an announcement, and and it's like, well, this isn't a WizKids deal, you know.
And that's what I had to explain to my guys too. Is apparently like it's still this weird thing where you have to explain what ROC is. And what WizKids is.
Yep.
So when they said, well, it wasn't this and it wasn't that, and WizKids needs to do this and that, I was like, no, it's on the ROC website, and it distinctly says on the ROC website that 1 through 12 will draft prizes.
This isn't me crapping on Howard or the ROC. This is just this is just the facts of this is how it happened,
it's
and
feedback.
then I'm giving my feedback on what I think could be better. So, basically what I did was I was like, okay, here's the top 12. I got like, if you win, what prize would you want, and so on. You basically get the players a list in order, the known prizes, and then I'm like, okay, I'll contact you, let you know which LEs we get, which ones are left, and we'll go from there. So that worked out. But I definitely think that like the ROC could have put up their, so like you'll see posts on the ROC Facebook page about like articles and shows and things like that, but like you see almost nothing about their events. Like, this event's coming up, and this event just happened, and you used to see it a lot when it was on HC Realms. These are events coming up. These were the results, especially of like the big regionals. And I guess I just kind of wish it would go back to that. Like, part of the low attendance on me, I did a 2-day event, and I got a lot of feedback. Players didn't want a 2-day event, and so I'm working to make sure our regional that's in the end of June will be 1 day. So that's a problem I can fix, but I do think that the ROC needs do a little bit better job of coordinating their own stuff.
Well, I mean, it's the first year with their partnership with WizKids, so I get the logistic issue of things being. I mean, you have to have WizKids send stuff, and then ROC. So I understand the shipment things.
The shipment thing, I'm more like about the coordination of it all, right? It's like, and so like. Our store paid February 4th for the States kit. ROC refunded the payment.
What?
Yeah, and then we ended up having, because they didn't whatever they didn't do on their end, so we had to pay again in March 6th. So we scheduled our event February 6th. I had players messaging me the week before the event saying, I had no idea until I saw it on a different page this week, or else I would have showed up. So I'm like, it sucks, because I would just love for the ROC to be like, here's your locations as they're done. Like, I know it seems like a lot, and it kind of is a lot to input all that, but it's like, I would say if you did every Friday, just updated the calendar every Friday, like, okay, who do we have confirmed? Okay, let's add that to the calendar. It's 11 o'clock on Friday. Let's add it to the calendar.
Or just add them to the calendar, and then on a Friday make an announcement. Hey, calendar is updated. These states have been added. Go check it out. But I mean, I get it too. But also, there's other things that, I mean, they pushed states up in the calendar year.
Yep.
Because they're doing 2 different states now this year.
It was originally supposed to be sealed, this one too, I believe.
They flip-flopped it. This one was going to be sealed. They made it constructed, and then the next one that down the road is going to be sealed.
But I do believe that's because Rebirth was supposed to release earlier than it did.
Yes, because the
So
push of Rebirth,
that is actually on WizKids.
well,
Sort of.
kind of.
Sort
It's
of.
not necessarily on WizKids. It's on
There's Chinese
China.
stuff. Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. We're still getting 2 state championships. Basically, that's what it boils down to. So I don't know if maybe some of the attendance issues was because of the holiday hangover and things like that. It's earlier in the season. Also, we have nationals coming around, so people might be a little gun shy to go and travel to a state tournament or something like that. Whatever. I'm not gonna make any excuses.
Yeah.
But also with what your point was too, when they were with HC Realms, things were updated more because you also had a lot more hands on deck too.
Yeah.
Now it's what Howard and Houston doing all their social media, doing all their eBay sales. So granted, they broke away.
Well, look. No. See, their eBay sales are their store. So Lucky Dice is Lucky Dice, as far as I'm concerned.
That's what I'm saying.
And then there's ROC.
They have all these guys they have a lot of different spinning plates.
Sure.
So that's, in my opinion, what might be contributing to this is because you don't have the volunteers you do.
Well, Tony's not involved. Patrick's not involved anymore, which those are 2 big ones.
Mm-hmm.
Rock Online's taken off, but it's kind of its own deal. So I know certain other individuals do have access to the Facebook page, that are posting some of the like podcasts and stuff type stuff up there. I mean, it's not Howard posting those, I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, definitely not.
So, which is fine, whatever.
But again, Howard might be the only person that has the information of what states have sold and what states have been. So,
right. So
again,
he needs to either hand that off or take care of it. And I think Howard would agree it's a fair criticism. Like, it's some of this stuff's hard to hear. And like nobody likes.
Understand though, it's the first year in a new union.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some hiccups and some bumps along the way, and we take feedback just like anybody else does. You take feedback and you grow from it. So this isn't a shot taken at them or anything like that. This is just honest feedback from 2 people who ran tournaments on 2 different coasts. And we want nothing more than this game to grow and to get better. And the only way to do that is honest feedback.
Right. I'm not sitting here saying, screw Rock, I'm done with Rock. I'm ready to win a map.
Absolutely.
I'm ready to win a map in a week and a half.
Well, no, just because the pros far outweigh the cons.
For sure.
To everything that's been happening right now with the transformation of the Rock. The prizing is great. The maps look great. We do have a couple issues. We talked about it last one podcast. We're not going to get into it with the map things because that's a whole different thing. But again, though, I think it's still showing the progression and it's still showing how this game is going in a very good direction, in my opinion. All
right. So just to wrap up the states thing, for California states, you can find the feature matches from the top 8 on our YouTube channel. This is youtube.com/2clicksfromKO. And or you can just search Google or YouTube search 2 Clicks from KO. And you'll see the finals, semifinals, and top 8 up there. Tony Rodriguez took down the event with his Cosmic Black Panther team. Wakanda Forever. Congrats, Tony. It was good to see Tony get a win. He's a great guy. So let's jump into last week's questions.
Yeah, I think that's I think they'll segue into a lot of things we want to talk about. Absolutely.
All right. Christian Bogan, what figures do you like best out of Rebirth? Which will see the most play? What have been some of your favorite teams from states? Go ahead. Rebirth first. We'll do Rebirth first. Quickly.
Rebirth? I mean, a lot of the chases are nice.
So which is your favorite so far? Which figure is your favorite? Let's just do that first.
My favorite figure
from Rebirth, yeah. I know who it is.
You know who mine is? Oh, it's Flex. Just flexing on him. Flex Mentallo is an amazing figure. I think it's very underrated. People are sleeping on him. I think after Rebirth is one of those sets, in my opinion, that you're not going to see a lot of things hitting and making waves right now. As soon as rotation hits, Rebirth is really going to shine. Mr. Oz is probably the most quote unquote meta ready figure out of them. Absolutely. I just got one myself. He's probably the most meta ready figure out of there. Billy Batson is also probably one of the most meta ready figures, being able to suck in a Shazam and deal some big damage. And if Shazam gets KO'd, it's only giving up the 40 points still.
Yep.
So there's no downside to playing Billy Batson at 40.
Or you just play 20 points for Perplex, though, if you need it.
He is. So, I mean, but again, he's just Perplex. If you play him at 40, it's the Perplex and stuff, and then Shazam's popping out.
The stop click, too, though.
Absolutely. But again, though, 40 points, another 20 points to have maybe some late game damage output isn't too bad. Dawnbreaker is probably by far one of my favorite figures in the set as well. And he will probably be big after rotation.
So I think right now my favorite figure from Rebirth is probably Raven, the rare. Talked about her earlier a little bit, but she just fits on so many teams. She's got Mystical, Monster, Super Taxi. She's just like a badass support piece. I actually was texting one of my guys, Randy, about a team idea I had, and he was like, Raven, and I was like, check her out, and he's like, dude, she's sick, and I'm like, yeah. He goes, I didn't even realize she had monster keyword. I was like, yeah, she does.
Yep.
So she plays well with the Venom symbiotes, Shredders. You can theme team now. Your Shredders can theme team their Taxi, which is like, that's nasty in and of itself. And then it's just pretty good, man. I like her. I think she'll see some play also. So as far as we'll see play, Mr. Oz is pretty obviously good. I think Dawnbreaker, Murder Machine, and Barbados are really good out of the chase sets. I think Barbados is actually the best chase in the set, but he's also probably the most difficult to play. So I think like he's a very finesse heavy as far as playstyle. So if you played him effectively, he could be the best chase. But I think Dawnbreaker is like the easiest just to drop in the meta. Yeah. Because at 75 points, he still brings so much to the table, especially with like Stagrons and Groots and all this other stuff getting popular. Your Lobos with your dogs, you know. So.
And they get +1 stats too, which is pretty big.
So your dog off of him is going to be a 20 defense.
A 20 defense. Yeah. A 20 defense with Impervious. Yeah. Your Walking Woods now are going to be 4 damages with Flurry.
Yeah.
Or Walking Wood. You only get to generate 1. Yeah. But still, with all those beefed up stats, what is it then? 11 attack with 4 damage and Flurry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's good. And then
Isaac, you get to have all 3 if they get them out. All 3 of the sweet Isaac Pogs.
Yep. Your Iron Man, there was a lot of Iron Man teams at States from what I saw.
Absolutely. That was one of the things I was going to bring up too with the State tournament. We saw a lot of Iron Man Pog generations. You'll get a Steel Bow. You'll get all those.
I think my favorite team from States, to answer that question, was probably Craig Lander's Korath Hulk team. Unfortunately, he had to play Tony, which is just like a bad matchup for his team because Black Panther has that super sense with the rollout, re-roll, and all this other stuff. But otherwise, I think like that team is super good. The Perpetual Hulk, I call it. That's fun.
One of the pushing guys played at New Jersey. Ted, he played a Hulk team like that, and when he was going through all the messages and stuff, he was like, "I just KO'd a whole entire team of 297 points in 1 turn."
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
I watched Craig just run through a Captain Venom, a Venom Spider-Man, like just all this. The guy just missed all of his rollouts.
Quake.
Yeah, it was so dumb. Bandit needs to be nerfed.
I know. If Vulture's horrible, I mean, you got to get rid of the Hulk then too, right?
Yep.
Get me started with that.
Jason writes in. He says, much like Magic, as HeroClix has grown, teams of players have begun to show up. Do you think this is healthy for the game, or do you think it can lead to a bad play environment, be it from tanking a game to help your team or having a regional bias towards others? Such a good question.
It's a very good question. There's many layers to this question. There's going to be regional bias regardless of teams.
Sure.
All right, so let me just put it this way. If you're on the West Coast, are you going to rep your coast, or are you going to be like, nah, the guys out here are garbage?
Well, I mean,
you're always going to
rep my coast. I'm
going to rep your coast, regardless if there's teams or anything.
So my
regional bias is always going to be regional biased.
My general feeling is this. The top players in my region, like Steve and Tony and Craig and Clay, there's guys out here that no matter what tournament they enter, there's a chance they're gonna win.
Yeah, and you've mentioned it with the Pacific Northwest too. Like there's a lot of good players up there. They just don't travel as much as they would like to.
Right. But I have played against those guys. I've played against Andre and Aubrey and
Chip.
Andre, Aubrey. I haven't played Chip. I've played Matt. Chip? No, I played Matt Peterson. I played a lot. Andrew PB. I played, and those guys are good. Aubrey beat me. I think Aubrey's the only one. Jason Devaney's the other guy I played against. I think out of all of them, I think Aubrey's the only one that beat me. But when he beat me, he blew me out. Like it was totally one-sided. So, as much as you could say, like, oh, like I've seen posts and like I've heard, audibly, people say like if you did the best players in the South versus the best players in the West Coast, which that's ridiculous in and of itself. West Coast is huge. But
absolutely,
yeah, you're talking about like 4 or 5 different large play groups. But anyway, the South wins every time, probably this week. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
No,
like I think a lot of it's matchups. Matchups, dice. And there's a lot of factors. I think like players like PJ. PJ is always a threat to win any tournament that he enters, and for a long time. If you asked me who the best player in the world overall is right now, I would have said PJ. Like right now, I feel like Easton probably is.
Well, I mean, look at like guys like George.
George, yeah, George.
He's just in the quiet north doing his own thing. Like, and then when he shows up to a tournament, people are like, "Oh shit, it's George."
Yeah.
Like, but again though, he's not like pounding his chest and being like, up here in Minnesota and Michigan and stuff, we have the best. They just are they're kind of, in my opinion, they're like the quieter Pacific Northwest. They just go about their business and play clicks, and then when they show up, they wreck.
You've got Scott. Scott's from Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You've got I think Brian Polling's up there, right?
I think so. Yep.
Brian Polling. I think Nate is from Illinois, somewhere over there, right?
He's in I think like the Chicago, Illinois
area. Yeah. So like
and he travels.
There's great players all over the place. So like anybody who would say like this region is better than that region or whatever, I think is a fool. Like I think you just have an elitist attitude, and like you're probably part of the problem with the community if that's how you. No, I'm not targeting any specific player. I'm saying
I'm just saying it's like
if you really feel that way, I think you're probably like toxic for the community. You're not a benefit.
There's a difference between being very like proud of where you come from and being very like East Coast is like me. I'm a big component that the East Coast has a lot of great players.
I'm always gonna root for Tony or Steve before I root for Easton, and I love Easton. Easton's a great guy, but Tony and Steve, I see them 4, 5, 6, 7 times a year. I see Easton maybe once a year.
That'd be like not rooting for Kenji and like and Abdul, and it's asinine. But if there's a difference between having like pride in like where you come from and like your play group, and then just being completely like, no, everyone else sucks. We like it's two different. It's
Yeah.
two different things.
Now that being said, I do think teams are good for the game because
Absolutely.
they bring about information sharing,
Mm-hmm.
competition,
Camaraderie.
competition, which is
Mm-hmm.
good because competition grows things. Competition grows business. Competition grows, skill,
Mm-hmm.
strategies. So there's a lot of benefits to teams, and it helps a lot with like travel. Like if you're part of a team, like a good team that's cohesive and works together. Like hey, like you had guys crashing at your house for Connecticut
Yeah.
States, right? So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like that's part of being a team too. So there's a lot of benefits to being a team, and I think the teams that are like kind of like crappy towards other regions, like I mean, you're totally entitled to feel that way. Like especially, I I see a lot of people crap on Dan, like and like uh, look, I don't like everything Dan does, but I don't think Dan deserves like personal attacks to a degree. Like some of the stuff that people say, like, you know, like especially if like you're not at an event where said thing happened, like just shut up because you're not there. You know, like you're not there. You don't know exactly what happened, and it's really not your place to like personally attack people. I would hate to have somebody be like, "Man, I heard Aaron was a jerk at an event," and like have like all these people talking smack to me, like, "Oh, you were a jerk to this guy," and I'm like, "Yeah, but you didn't talk about how this guy cheated." Like this guy literally cheated me, or threw like I had a guy throw my line of fire at me. I don't talk about that. I could have been real shitty to the guy, I could have talked about it, but I don't. So like I don't think that sort of stuff is good for the community. So it's like I don't know, whatever. That's kind of off topic, but
A little bit.
I felt
If
like
you have to cut down somebody else to make you or your team feel better, that's where it's not good for the community, not good for a team.
and I just use
Now
Dan as
there's a difference between
that's
talking smack and having playful banter and going back and forth.
yeah,
But when you have to like again, like you just said, personally attack someone
yeah.
and to cut them down to try and build something else up, that's not good. No.
DJ is a good example. DJ Riggin, Don Riggin. Like I talk smack to DJ all the time, and
Absolutely.
but he knows I'm joking. You know what I mean? And DJ can take it. But I've also talked smack to like Paris, and like Paris now can take it pretty well. But when he was first into the game and stuff, I was talking smack to him, and I didn't know he didn't like it. And then
Hmm.
like I found out he didn't like it, and like I immediately apologized. And Paris and I are friends now. So it's like it like don't forget, guys, we're playing with little plastic figures that are
But
based
it's also having the mindset to know that you've done something wrong and acknowledging
yeah,
that. And sometimes people don't understand that.
yeah,
Like, oh yeah, I may have done something wrong. I should probably apologize for it.
right,
Or
right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
but we're getting off topic.
yep.
Let's keep it moving.
So Charles White says, "Is this buy a brick or pick out singles type of set in your opinion?"
For Rebirth,
Yes.
singles.
Well, it depends. For me, it depends on what your goal is.
Yeah.
If you want like a specific chase, like buy it, buy that
Yeah,
single.
absolutely.
Don't buy a brick. But like if you want to get like a good amount of Justice League China figures, buy a
Yeah.
brick. Or
I mean,
you could go either
ev-
way with that.
every set, in my opinion, is worth buying a brick because if you see the progression of how the sets have become, there are a lot of really good figures in that common and uncommon
Yep.
and slot.
Rare.
Before people used to be like, oh, commons and uncommons, but now we're seeing very strong that
Look,
common Deathstroke. So if you want to get like a bunch of figures with, and you're getting at least 3 super rares and like a prime or a chase or whatever, and sometimes now primes and chases,
yep.
it's worth a brick, especially when you see how much these chases are going for now all the time. You
Yep.
gotta figure it's $100 for a brick. Like
Yep.
your chase should fill that.
If you get a chase.
Well, I mean, a lot of these
Yeah.
sets we've I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or if it's just the distributors are bad. We're seeing some people who are reporting 2 chases and a prime 2 primes and a chase. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I did get in mine. I got a Prime Signal, Prime Bizarro, and Chase Red Death.
That's not bad because you get the super
In
prime.
two rigs in a case. So
That's not bad.
yeah.
Signal's a good prime. Bizarro is a super rare prime.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
And I was just complaining that I don't pull those, right? I was just complaining to you the other day.
You were just like, oh man, I never get those kinds of pulls.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh yeah, this is what I pulled.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Let's see. Lance Miller, not to be confused with Lane Miller. Do you think Billy Batson, fit on a Star Wars team? Yes.
Yes, we've talked about Bill. Bill Batson's great.
Fits on every team. Jesse Cote, not counting the state you live in, what states would you want to compete in and why?
Now, we answered this question last time and we screwed it up a little bit. His question is, if you were going to a state championship, what state would you want to go to compete in?
Yeah, besides your own.
Yes. I mean, I don't. Oh God. Going off of some of the actual like numbers that we've seen, I would have loved to have went to New York States because they got 25 guys, 25 people.
They had good players too. Yeah, they got Ricky.
And it was in Western New York. It wasn't like the typical like big like dense Brooklyn
right.
It was out in Western.
And they got a lot of Ohio players traveled over for it.
I think they had Ohio, and they had a group of Canadians come down too.
Yeah,
big group of Canadians come down.
I believe Jason and them went.
Jay played in the finals against Devin, and Devin ended up taking the state.
Devin's a Canada guy too, right? So
yeah.
I mean,
there's just some personally too. With this time of year, I would like to go somewhere warm as well. Just because
Come on out. It's supposed to be 90 degrees on Friday.
Good Lord, man! It's gonna be 65 and raining all day.
It's 80 degrees today. I was sweating today. I would like to go either Texas or like Michigan. I think
Texas would be good.
Like I said, I mentioned like George and Scott, which I don't think Scott really went to states, but George would be fun to go see and hang out with. My guy Brian is up there. Brian Jarosky, great dude. So and then you get like Brian's there, Brian Poling, and then you get like a lot of good players. The Canada guys come down sometimes for that, and then like Texas would be fun too. Like I said earlier, I like a lot of those Texas guys, and they pull guys from like Arkansas and stuff like that. So those guys are all fun.
Yeah, where in Texas was it at this year?
I believe Houston.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's at Space Cadets. It's usually at Space Cadets. So.
Okay.
Zach says, "What's worse, Baby Shark or Let It Go?"
Either or.
Either or. They're both.
They're both bad.
And Joe Pangrazio says, "What's the perfect sandwich?"
This we ended up spending a lot of time on last week.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was because we broke down like bread and then like cheese with the sandwich and stuff. Yeah. I mean, oh God, it depends on. There's so many different styles of sandwich too.
Like peanut butter jelly is like always it. So here's the thing: like peanut butter jelly is good at any time. You want something sweet for dessert? Peanut butter and jelly.
I might be getting a peanut butter and jelly when I'm done with this.
Yeah, you want a quick snack in the middle of the day? Peanut butter and jelly.
Peanut butter and jelly.
I need to pack my kids' lunch for school tomorrow. Peanut butter and jelly. Like I mean, can't go
wrong. And if you put it on like a really good bread too, like a nice thicker, like a nice thick bread too. It's God, it's great.
Glass of milk on the side.
I don't know about that. Milk was a bad choice, but I don't know. Milk not bad with it.
Yeah.
But it depends, man, because like we would talk about like a sandwich, like a Reuben is really good.
Yeah.
For like for a grinder, like an Italian, a nice good Italian's good.
Some capicola with some pepperoni and salami, and then
absolutely
with like some Swiss.
Would you call it capicola?
Capicola? How do you say it?
Capicola?
How do you say it? Capicola. I don't know.
Capicola.
All right. I'm not Italian, man. That's like you guys say chorizo.
I'm not Italian either, man. He calls it capicola, capicola. Uh,
I always called it capicola, and then I was corrected at work the other day, so I guess I was corrected
capicola,
incorrectly.
man. Anyone calls it capicola, they're messing with you, man. But nah, you do that. Like you can throw like some good peppers on it too.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm a turkey and Swiss guy though.
we talked
That's
about that too. Turkey Swiss isn't bad.
that's my
What kind
go.
of bread though? What kind of bread you throwing that on?
I hate sourdough.
No, I'm not. I don't do sourdough.
Anything but sourdough, honestly.
Just
Just
like a pumpernickel
No, come on.
with
Yeah,
the Swiss. Absolutely, a spicy mustard with the Swiss on pumpernickel.
You do like a wheat, and then you do like that cranberry jam.
Oh, we talked about that too. Doing like a
Yeah.
Thanksgiving sandwich and a pita.
Yeah.
You do like it's like
Ooh.
I've done those where you do like it's called a Thanksgiving pita. So it's your leftovers from Thanksgiving.
No.
You
This
put,
is
like,
this.
turkey. No,
Yeah,
this
you
is
could do
Swiss
that.
sandwich.
You could do that. But what I'm talking about, I had this actually in an airport. It was a turkey sandwich, had like the greens, like I don't know what kind of greens it was off the top of my head, some
Like
kind of
spinach.
lettuce, probably, and it had like this cranberry sauce on it. I was like, what? And I was like, that sounds kind of funky. I'm not a big fan of cranberry sauce, but I'll give it a go.
Neither am I.
But it was a cranberry jelly, not a sauce.
Okay.
It's a jelly. It was good, dude. It was good. I was
Gotta
surprised.
put a little stuffing on it too, though. You gotta get that stuffing.
Yeah, you could, but this wasn't like Thanksgiving themed. It was like June. It was.
But still, though, it's based off. I mean, if you're gonna put cranberry sauce,
No,
on
but it wasn't. It
turkey
was like
sandwich.
sliced cured turkey, not like a oven baked turkey. Anyway, turkey and Swiss. That's a go-to for me.
Oh man,
We've
you
got
got Malcolm.
Malcolm's questions, and then we're gonna wrap it.
Rap.
Wrap.
So while you're pulling that up,
wraps another good option.
Oh.
Low carb sandwich option.
I do. There are low carb wraps as well when I'm on the keto. I'm not on the keto right now because Thanksgiving is this weekend, and I'm gonna eat like an ass. So I mean, can't be low carb right now doing that.
So Malcolm's one question is basically colors question part 1. He says, please rank all colors power worst to best, and why did you choose that order? So what I think he means is like yellow, blue, red.
Like,
green.
what's the worst power scheme compared to the best power scheme?
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I don't know if we're gonna rank all of them.
No, let's just do the worst.
Best and worst.
Best and worst.
Okay, so best.
Well, the best
Yeah.
is probably gonna be like your bronze.
Your bronze. So
You get
hypersonic,
Perplex,
poison, perplex, and
impervious. Yeah, I mean that's probably up there.
Okay.
Pink is very good now too, and power kind of bogs it down. But invincible, sidestep, precision strike is probably like.
I kind of feel like light blue is the worst, except it has prom.
But then, see, I would say orange too, though, because you have leap, climb, energy shield, toughness, and battle fury.
Battle Fury is good right now.
Battle Fury is becoming more prevalent with the amount of shape change we have.
Energy explosion and toughness are also good.
Eh.
Come on, man! Energy explosion.
Energy explosion's been nerfed now with the fact that you can't stack it with penetrating.
Sure.
Back in the day, it was good with penetrating psychic blast.
That's true.
It is getting better now that you can use it, and you can probably like take out a whole like grouped up
Mandarin
retaliators.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So it's very situational, but like leap climb is probably the worst power in the game.
So it's not the worst, but it's like the most it has no incentive really.
Besides Earthbound Neutralize, what is worse than leap climb? I will rest my case. Like there should be something.
I'm trying to think of the powers right now. Like I don't know.
Leap climb is bad. It needs an overhaul. I have a lot of ideas for it. WizKids, if you're watching, message me. Let's talk. We'll make leap climb great again.
I'll make you.
But I would say even black is really good too.
I'll make you a Malga.
Steel energy, regen, outwit.
I'll make you a Malga hat. Not Malga, Malga. Make leap climb
Make Leap Climb. Oh God, I can't even say it. Leap Climb great again.
Okay, so like black's pretty good actually. Stealth,
Stealth, Outwit, Still
outwit,
Energy,
still energy. Even regen's good.
Regen. I mean, there's a lot of really good power schemes. I mean, even Yellow's not that bad.
I say yellow's arguably bad, but it's arguably good. I think the worst overall is probably, in my opinion, is light blue.
I'm going orange.
Light blue or orange. So it's like mind control, incap, which incap's decent, barrier's decent, and prop's good. So then you've got, so yeah, it's got to be one of those two.
What about light green? You have Earthbound, Neutralize, Quake's not bad.
I was thinking
Combat Reflexes and
X-Blade.
Never mind.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Earthbound's the only bad one in that one. So I don't know. There's a lot that have two bad, but the best. I think you're right. I think the best is probably bronze. Like or gold. I always call it gold, but
it's just, yeah, whatever. I think that's probably arguably top one, top two.
Yeah,
I would say pink is probably right there with it.
Yeah. And so gold, pink, and then I would say light blue and orange. The two best and the two worst. Okay, I can live with that.
I would say easily.
Yeah. So that's gonna wrap.
I mean, even silver. Not before we wrap up. Even silver, running shot, TK, Invuln, and leadership.
Leadership's baller now. It's like
leadership
is too strong. Please nerf.
Oh God, we didn't even get into Vulture either.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it, but we're already almost on 2 hours.
We'll do
next.
Stay tuned. We're gonna do a live debate video on YouTube.
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll do a live debate video on YouTube. Vulture doesn't need a nerf. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts? Stay tuned. We're gonna post it on the 2 Clicks from KO Facebook page. We want your guys' input ahead of time, and then we'll go live, and we'll get your feedback then and there as well, and go back.
Then we'll finish off with whatever questions you guys have in the chat.
Absolutely. But I think we haven't done a live video together in a while. I think that'd be a good one you and I can go back and forth on and have some fun with.
For sure. All right, so that wraps up this episode. Remember, guys, go check out the Tucson. Oh gosh, I already messed up the thing. I shared it earlier. Go check out Paul's page. I'll put it that way.
We'll link it. We'll put it on the 2 Clicks from KO page as well, so you guys can check out the link.
Yep. I think it's pretty cool. All about supporting the community. Was like buying, Thomas Rowe does good bystanders. I always buy from him. Big Willie Gaming. He actually just posted up these guys, Mr. Terrific bystanders ready to go. So check him out.
Critical Hits Customs. They've been doing a good job of sending some stuff out. Also, big thanks to the Pacific Northwest guys and the Eagles. Be on the lookout. I'll be doing a live video over on Cascadia. They sent me some tokens as a thing.
How dare they? How dare they? Chip, we're gonna have words.
I know. I'm gonna go take over the Cascadia page. I think probably tomorrow, and I'll post up the pictures of the tokens they sent me.
I was gonna send Chip some beer, but now I'm not.
I gotta actually look for some for him. He's looking for a certain New England IPA. I gotta try and look for it and send it to him.
It's surprisingly hard to buy and ship beer online, I found.
Yes.
At least from California.
I had to look up laws to see if I was able to even ship alcohol from Connecticut to Washington.
I can't.
Connecticut can.
I can through that. Well, I can, but I can't. But anyways, that's gonna wrap this episode. Thanks for listening, guys. It was a long one, but it's basically 2 episodes in one. So
basically,
thanks, Aries. Talk to you later, man.
Thank you.
You gonna flex on people today?
Flexing on them. Flex Mentalo. Get it. Wait to let tank tops come out. Full chest hair. Flex Mentalo. No Speedo, though.
Oh, come on. All right, guys. Until next time, remember the real fun begins with your 2 clicks from KO.